What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of the BrandonJaneauShow. As you already know, uh, I am Brandon Janeau, just in case you were wondering. So, man, oh man, oh man, if you also know, shout out to everybody that's been following, watching on YouTube. Uploaded where you could kind of find me at BrandonJaneauShow on YouTube. So, there it is, BrandonJaneauShow on YouTube. That's where all of these videos, podcasts, video episodes are always uploaded on my YouTube channel. Shout out to all the new subscribers to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys, appreciate it. Shout out to all the people that's been viewing the clips or watching the entire episodes. I really appreciate you guys. And like always, like always, man. Shout out to everybody that is following me on social media, Brandon Janeau Show on Instagram, but that's pretty much where you can find me mostly, and also on TikTok. That's probably why I forget it because I don't really use it that much, but TikTok, Brandon Janeau Show on TikTok as well. And just in case you need to listen to the podcast, if you can't watch it because you might be driving, I am on audio everywhere, podcast platforms everywhere. So if you can't watch the videos on YouTube or you can't follow me on Instagram, social media, you can just really just hit up the podcast platforms everywhere I am. Brandon Janeau Show podcast platform. Shout out to everybody that's been listening. Shout out to everybody that's been watching. Shout out to everybody that's been subscribing, following, wherever, man. Thank you guys. I really, really appreciate it. And now let's get into it. Tonight's episode is very quick and very simple. WWE Survivor Series WarGames, which means this is Brandon Janeau Show, Wrestling Life. Let's get it, man. WWE War Games just wrapped up. Let me see. Hold on. Yep, about 30 minutes ago. Well, I can't even say 30, about 20 minutes ago. Uh, it just wrapped up. Um, Held in the TD Gardens, Boston, Massachusetts. Um, this was incredible. This is the rate and review show, man, of it. This is the last rate and review show of the year because they won't be, well, technically they do have an NXT one and I might watch it, so it might not be the end of the year, but I don't really, yeah, I might do that one. I don't know, but depending on what I see in that, I might do one depending on how I feel about it. I gotta first see the deadline, kind of see how that works, and then if I like it, then I probably will do an episode on it. But until then, this might be. But if that isn't the case, this is gonna probably be the last rate and review of the year. So I hope you guys enjoy this until next year, because the Royal Rumble is around the corner. 3 days before my birthday, so I'm looking forward to that. But if you know anything about this Wrestling Life episodes, the rate and review shows that I do, you already know I rate and review. Well, I reviewed the pay per view pretty much, and then I rate it from pretty much 1 star up, well, zero point 0.5 stars to 5 stars. It is the best thing I've seen. Usually, I do have three 5 star matches or multiple 5 star matches. If that's the case, like tonight, I got three. Like I said, but if it's multiple 5 star matches, then I will go from the least 5 star match that I saw to the best match on the card. And of course, like I said, I usually don't give out zero point 0.5 stars. That's literally like the match really just didn't fucking happen. So literally, I start from like 1 star to 5. So if you, like I said, like this, man, comment, subscribe. I love comments, appreciate it. If you are commenting, if you like it, please like it. If you like it, comment, like it, do it all, man. On podcast platforms, or on my YouTube channel, or even on social media. If you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, comment. I would love to get back into this with you guys. But like I said, man, so the rating system starts off at pretty much 1 star to 5 stars. And like I said, Survivor Series War Games was fucking good. Let's start it off like that. And also, like I said, man, it was not that many matches, but because you got two war game matches, that's pretty much gonna bleed for like at least 40 to 45 minutes. So there really wasn't that many matches on this card, but for the matches that there were, I really enjoyed them. So let's get into it. The first match that clearly is the match that I'm kicking us off with is my least favorite match on the card, but I had low expectations for this match, and it actually succeeded better than I thought. It was actually better than I actually thought. Um, and that is Ronda Rousey versus Shotzi SmackDown Women's Championship match. All in all, this is. I thought this should have been a squash match, to be honest with you. Um, so that's kind of why I didn't really see a really good match with this. I thought it'd be a squash match. I think the build up to this match really fucked up because it's like they kept. I get Triple H loves Raquel Rodriguez, which is obvious because she was literally one of his star pupils in NXT before he left. I get that, and I understand that. Um, but you're putting her in this like rivalry, like she's the superstar, like she's the one that's going at Ronda. Where I get it, the play is to put her in the Royal Rumble match, and maybe she wins and then she fights Ronda. But I don't want to see her and Ronda fight at WrestleMania. I'm sorry, I just don't want to see that shit. Um, so if that's the play, if you're gonna like, I would do the match at WrestleMania because that's kind of the only person you can see fight Ronda outside of Shayna. Like, because there's not that many people you want to see Ronda fight. Like, I don't want to see like other than probably Becky. I would like to see her and Becky fight, but but is Becky going to you know SmackDown? Probably not, as long as Seth is on Raw. So it just doesn't make any sense. But this match, I didn't have like a lot of expectations for it. I thought it was okay. Like I said, the build up was kind of more centered around. They were trying to make shots at underdog, but the fucking real match was kind of centered around Raquel Rodriguez, kind of helping her every time she needed something. And this was, but it all in all into the match. Let's get into the match technically, but but the match was pretty fucking good. I think it was better than I expected. Like I said, I was thoroughly entertained. I was like, this is actually pretty good. Shotzi never let them double team her, which was a good thing. She even though she is technically the underdog, I like the fact that she never let Shayna kind of get an upper hand on her, and they didn't really use Shayna as like some decoy. Like they kept trying to get Shayna involved, and Shotzi just kept reversing and kept catching her, and she kept fucking her over, and it kind of put Ronda in an interesting situation because you expect Shayna to kind of like help you, but she couldn't really do that much, and what got me really interested in the match is when they went outside and and Shotzi threw Shayna and Ronda into the crowd, and she just jumped off the barricade into like Shayna, Ronda, and like these fans, and they just fucking fell to the ground. It's like, what the fuck? I was like, EC Dub? What the fuck is going on? EC Dub in Boston? What the fuck is going on? Um, all in all, I thought the match was like I said. I didn't have really that much expectations. I'm gonna be honest. Like I probably was gonna rate this a 2 before I actually even saw it, and I was like, because the build ups kind of sucked because, like I said, you kind of trying to make Shotzi this underdog, but you're really making Raquel kind of the star of this situation. And usually I don't agree with wrestling things like that because I feel like they're kind of biased in the situation. But it all in all, it kind of did look like even though you put Shotzi as the number one contender, the real number one contender is going to be Raquel Rodriguez one day, eventually. And you got to see how that's going to play out for the people. All in all, Shotzi and Ronda was okay. It was decent. As I thought it was going to be a 2. I gave it a 3.5. I gave it 3.5 stars. Um, I might bump that down to 3. It's a 3. It's not 2, but it's a 3. And I don't think it's 3.5. I give it 2. I thought the ending of the match was pretty interesting and pretty decent. But all in all, I liked it. I liked the match. I thought it was pretty good. But I give it a 3. I'm not gonna give it 3.5. I put 3.5. I'm gonna give it 3. So yeah, 3 stars. It wasn't a bad match. Like I said, I didn't have that many. I didn't have high expectations for it. I expected it to be what it was, and that's kind of why I felt like this match kind of just lived up to what I expected. It went past what I expected, and that's a good thing for a match like because you can't. And this is my problem with Ronda. Like, it's not that much you can do with her. Like you're building her to be like Brock Lesnar. But the thing about Brock was he squashed his fucking opponents. Like Brock let some get offense come in, but he never let them. We never thought they had a chance. It feels like every time Ronda gets in the ring, it feels like you got a chance. Like even if we know the results, Ronda's gonna win, but it's like Ronda's letting you get your offense in. It shouldn't be that way. If you're building her to be like the female Brock Lesnar, just let her squash these people and keep it fucking pushing because it doesn't make any sense to have her kind of have these matches where you know they're underdogs, you know they have no chance. Like I remember like when they did the Crown Jewel match with Brock Lesnar versus Ricochet. We know damn well Ricochet didn't belong in that fucking ring with fucking Brock Lesnar. And you put him in a match against Brock Lesnar and he got fucking destroyed. Like this is the type of matches that you're supposed to build Ronda as. But instead, you're trying to like build her as like a real wrestler, and it's like that shit is not going to work if you're actually trying to build her also to be the female Brock Lesnar. That shit don't work. So I think that is why I think 3 stars is a decent rating for this because you can't really do that much with Ronda, and you can't really do that much with Shotzi. It's like you because we know the results, but we also know that it's kind of like an underdog. Like she's not gonna beat her. So yeah, this was stupid, and I want to see how the storyline is not gonna play out with the SmackDown Women's Championship because you got 2 months to figure out how you're gonna push Ronda now. Because you can keep pushing as the baddest woman on the planet, shit, but who the fuck gonna step up to her on SmackDown? You have no real threat like other than Raquel Rodriguez and like I said, Shayna Baszler. Those are the only 2 people now that I see can really fight this woman, and she could probably beat. Excuse me, she probably beat Raquel, but I don't think she beat Shayna like that. So it's a pretty that's a pretty interesting. And plus, you just got them together, so I don't think they're gonna switch up and do the Shayna Ronda rivalry just yet. But yeah, I was just eating cookies, so that's probably why I got milk. So yeah, I was just eating cookies. But anyway, let's go into the next match on a card that I gave a pretty decent rating, man. I'm gonna be honest. This pay per view didn't really have that many. Like I said, it didn't have that many bad matches because it really wasn't that many fucking matches to call bad. I mean, when you really only had like 3 matches outside the War Games match, the Ronda match, and then this next match, AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. Again, maybe I'm rating them a little too high. Because when I saw it, I'm like pretty decent compared to what it could have been. The beginning of this match was kind of like a stalemate. Finn and AJ were kind of countering each other a lot, and AJ started working on the body part, which is again a very interesting detail to this match because Finn kept playing up the leg. That's a big thing because if you're gonna have a match against somebody like an AJ Styles that is a technician in the ring and he can go and he can do things, if he's been working on your leg, I'm pretty sure you should play up to that fucking injury. So this is kind of what it was. It was kind of like a battle of. It was a stalemate for most of the match. AJ and Finn. This is the first time these 2 men got in the ring and fought each other 1-on-1 since TLC in 2016, 2017. Yeah, it's been a minute. So it's been a minute. I remember AJ kind of stepped in for Bray Wyatt back in the day, and that's when them 2 first fought. But this was kind of an interesting match, man. And like I said, it was a stalemate at the beginning. They had the Judgment Day and the OC out there with them in this match. But to be honest, like this match didn't really ramp up until they got out of the match. Like Dominic Mysterio jumped in, pulled AJ's legs from under him on an apron. He fell, and then they kind of like like they countered Dominic first, which was kind of stupid. I guess they had to get Damian Priest to see what was going on because I would have just jumped on Dominic right then and there. But they had to kind of get, I guess, Damian Priest because Damian Priest was on the opposite side of the ring, so it was 2 rings. So of course, probably your vision was objected, so you probably couldn't see because Finn and the ref and AJ is in the ring, so you're probably trying to see what the hell's going on. But they had it like they waited till like Damian Priest kind of like got in position, and then they kind of jumped on Dominic Mysterio, which was kind of weird. I mean, at the beginning, but all in all, it spilled out into the crowd, which was perfect. The OC and the Judgment Day. These are the types of situations I like. That situation. The one thing I liked about the Finn and Edge match was, for the most part, it was just a one-on-one match, and I like that. I think that is the biggest part about these situations. AJ and Finn, as great as they are with the groups, they're better when they're just one-on-one. And that's kind of what this match picked up as. It picked up when they kind of left, and I thought that was a pretty good situation. All in all, uh, this was exactly what I expected. AJ needed this one. Like God knows, AJ needed this one. He hasn't won a pay per view match in a good bit, so to see AJ kind of get this victory was very important. Over somebody like a Finn Balor that is building and is continuously moving in the upper tier of WWE, which I think, like I've said numerous times, him and Shinsuke Nakamura are gonna get the two biggest pushes after WrestleMania. I can see both of them kind of becoming again those NXT guys like Kevin Owens, and I think also be on the lookout for like Pete Dunne and Gunter. Pete Dunne and Walter, they're gonna get pushes too after WrestleMania. So, but yeah, you gotta get Finn that kind of push, but you needed to get AJ back into the win column, especially on the pay per view, because people are watching this shit. And people wanted AJ to win in Boston. That's a very important thing because you hear the crowd saying, "AJ, come on, let's like win this shit." And the crowd wasn't really fitting Finn, and that's a good thing because now Finn is playing into the role of the villain. So it's great. I get it as a 4.5 stars, maybe because the finish and like I said, after the Judgment Day, the OC left, it kind of felt like okay, this is really what we wanted. But I'm gonna probably knock that down also to maybe a 4. I'm gonna knock that down to a 4. Like I said, at the beginning, I kind of was like, at the X I'm watching, I'm like 4.5. That's definitely. But now that I got time to actually pay attention, like really look back at it and think about it, it was like it was a 4. The start kind of stalled the match. The ending picked it up and won it for me. But yeah, it's a 4 because of the start. The start is like a 2, but maybe that's probably why I gave it a 5.5, a 2.5 extra. But it's a 4. I give it a 4. Now, like I said earlier, I got 3 5-star matches. Like I said, it's not that many matches on this card. 3 5-star matches, and I'm gonna go with the match that I thought was my least favorite. I won't say least favorite, but the match that I thought was good, but it could have improved somewhere, and it was actually really really good compared to the 2 other 5-star matches. This is pretty decent, like to have a 5-star. That is Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley versus Austin Theory for the triple threat United States title match. Now I could bring this deck down, and I could bring this to a 4.5, but the finish is so funny, and I think that's why I kind of gave it a 5. So this match, all in all, man, was literally keep Bobby Lashley the fuck out the ring. It's like keep Bobby Lashley the fuck out the ring. Do not let him get in the ring. Do not let him instill his power on a Seth or Austin. First of all, shout out to Seth Rollins for rocking the late great White Power Ranger himself. Like like man, for him to come out in the White Power Ranger outfit, man, I was like, yo, that's what I'm talking about. Um, Jason David Frank, man, Tommy, as I know as a kid, Tommy, the White Power Ranger himself, the GOAT, rest in peace. So to see Seth come out with that attire on, I was like, okay, that's why I love Seth Rollins because he just understands the tide and but this match, man, was incredible, man. It was incredible. It was a really good fucking match. Like I said, keep away from Bobby Lashley. Don't let him get his strength in the game, his strength in the match. For all of it, to be honest with you, man, I didn't know how this dynamic was gonna work. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really didn't know how this dynamic was gonna work. Bobby is so strong and he has been dominant, but Austin Theory has a new kind of found aggression. Get it? Aggression era. He's got a new ruthless aggression, I should say, to his character, and I think that like I've been one of the rare few. I've been one of those that have said Austin Theory needed to lose the briefcase because it probably would unlock who the fuck he needs to be. Holy shit, he lost the briefcase and now everybody loves him now. Holy shit, Austin's now the noun. He's the guy now. It's like, bro, I've been saying lose the briefcase. He probably would be a better fucking person for it. And he probably would be a better champion for it. Guess what? Holy shit, look at him. He's fucking incredible now. Look at that shit. And everybody, even 3 weeks ago, when people were screaming, he should have lost it. He should have never he cashed in on the U.S. Championship. I said literally after that day, I said that might have been the best thing for fucking Austin Theory that he fucking cashed in finally and got it over and done with because as long as he had the briefcase, he was never going to beat Roman Reigns. We fucking knew that. So all in all, I thought this match was incredible. Seth Rollins doing what Seth Rollins do, create offense and new inventions of offense. Like the fact that he literally used Austin Theory to curve stump Bobby Lashley was pretty fucking decent. He didn't get caught this time because usually that was the time where he jumped on Randy Orton and he popped him up and RKO'd him. But this time he didn't get caught. He didn't get caught. He used Austin Theory and then stumped Bobby Lashley. I thought again, man, it was a really good match and the ending, like I said, it was funny and it was actually interesting because all in all, man, this match was such a up and down battle. It was such a crazy thing, and at the end, everybody's trying to get their finishes in. Bobby Lashley literally tried to put both of them dudes in a hurt lock together. Um, but what happened at the end was pretty funny and pretty interesting. Uh, Set goes for the the suplex off the top rope, and then he turns around, does the Falcon Arrow, and then he turns him and does the Falcon Arrow. He had Austin Theory kind of like that, and he was about to turn him to do it, and then before he even get to turn him, Bobby Lashley just spears him, and Bobby kind of falls off the ring, kind of, but Austin Theory is still kind of like holding on to Seth Rollins. Seth's down. Austin Theory puts his arm over Seth. One, two, three. He's not a United States champion. Now this is funny. This is probably why I gave it a five because I've never seen too many faces since WrestleMania 30 when Brock Lesnar beat Undertaker. I've never seen the fans be like, "What the fuck was that? Who the fuck? What the fuck? Why would you let him win? Like what?" Fans are like, "What the fuck? I guess, yeah, that works. I guess. Shit, I don't know, maybe." But for an Austin Theory that struggled for the last couple months, but now he's kind of like got a career resurgence. You just beat literally two of the top guys in WWE, literally one of the best wrestlers in the company in Seth Rollins, and somebody that's just that damn dominant in Bobby Lashley. You beat him, and then you pin Seth of all people. That's a massive fucking thing, man. And again, you're on Raw. You don't really have a champion, so it kind of like you are the future. You are the champion now of Raw. So what are you gonna do with it? And that's an interesting thing. I want to see how this U.S. title reign is gonna go with him, other than like the last. The last was kind of it was a Vince orchestrated situation. Where this is kind of more so now we get to see the aggression. We get to see who you are now with the title. And like I said, you're kind of the man now because you're technically the only main champion on Raw. You don't really have the tag team titles. You don't have the WWE Championship or the Universal. You're kind of the only champion on Raw outside of the women's division. You're kind of the man right now. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how this plays out. But all in all, I thought the match was incredible. Like I said, the dynamic was interesting at first, but after watching it and seeing the match and how it kind of finished, I was like, yeah, that's a pretty fuck. That's a five. I was like, that's a five. I give it a five. Yeah. Um, Now get into it. Yes, the last two matches got fives are clearly the War Games matches, but which is the best one I've seen out of these two? Coming in the second best, one of the best matches of the night. One of the best matches of the night was definitely a War Games match, but it was the women's War Games match. I think that I knew it was going to kick off the show because clearly that was going to be the main event. Bloodline versus Brawler Brute. That's clearly the main event. Roman is the guy. He's the man. And the Bloodline storyline is just way more intriguing. But the Team Damage Control versus Team Bianca was incredible, man. It was fucking good to see how they were gonna particularly put the people in place. I thought was intriguing as fuck. I thought that was intriguing as fuck. Team Damage Control got the advantage. They beat Rhea Ripley beat Asuka on Monday Night Raw, so they got the advantage, which means they will have the number advantage for most of the match. As the match continued, I thought it was a pretty good thing. Bianca started for her team. Clearly, that makes sense because she is kind of the only person that has one been in war games. People forget she was like I think in the first women's war game. What Rhea, which is the funniest shit in the world. Her and Rhea, I think Dakota Kai were in the first fucking women's war game, which is the craziest shit to ever hear in your life. And I think even Io Sky. I think Io Sky was also in that fucking war game match, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe she was in the second one for the women's in NXT. But as a matter of fact, this is how crazy that shit is because I think it was like supposed to be. I think it was maybe four women in that match. To be honest, I think it was four women in that match. If I'm not mistaken. It's like 8 on 8. It wasn't 10 on 10. No, 5 on 5. It was 4 on 4. And I think you had Dakota Kai, Rhea, and Bianca on the same team in the first women's Royal Game match in NXT. And I think who the fuck were they battling? They were going to get some fucking faction. It was some faction. I fucking forgot. It was like a women's faction in NXT. I forgot what the fuck it was. Oh, Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler and some other women. I forgot what the fuck I saw on that team. But yeah, I remember that. And yeah, so they were literally in the first women's War Games match in NXT. Bianca and Rhea. Matter of fact, Bianca and Rhea actually won. And it was only two of them against four other women, against Shayna Baszler and like four other people. I forgot who else was in that match. I forgot. But yeah, they beat them. They fucking beat them. So, um, but Bianca started it off. It makes sense. She's the leader. She should have started it off. This isn't like the man's war game match where Roman Reigns is gonna take his time. He's not gonna jump out there and be like, "Yeah, I take it." She's the face, so she's supposed to take the mantle of like, "I'm the leader. I'm gonna take advantage of this. I'm gonna help you guys. I'm gonna start off with this match." So she starts it off, and it was against Dakota Kai, who again, like I just said, was supposed to be in that first ever women's war game match in NXT, and she turned on a partner in that match, and turned on them, Rhea and Bianca, and left them high and dry. They still won a match, but that's pretty fucked up. And so it was those two women to start off. The advantage came, and then it was Io Sky, I think, came after that, and then which led to Asuka coming out for Team Bianca after that, and then it led to Nikki Cross coming out after that, which led to Alexa Bliss coming out, which is intriguing as shit because and let me back it up because Io Sky and Asuka have a connection to Japan back in the day. They used to be tag team back in the day in Japan, and Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross have literally been tag team champions before in the past. So it kind of made sense that this was the situation that was ahead at that time, and it was pretty interesting to see. Um, and then it goes into uh, Bailey being the next person out of for her team. Um, do I really need to go into the situation between her and Bianca the last couple of fucking months? How about the fact that Alexa Bliss and her have had problems back in the day? Like it's pretty her and Oscar. Like so it's kind of like it made sense, which it brought out Mia Yim, which I don't know what the fuck her name is supposed to be. Like they gave her a nickname, but it seemed like they're fucking up that. Like it's like Mitchie, Mitcha, Mitchie, or whatever the fuck they call her now. It's not like Mia Mitchie Yim. Like do like Seth freaking Rollins. Like it makes sense. Like do that. Mia Mitchie Yim. Like it would be better because then we'd be like, okay, that makes sense. A middle name is a middle name for a fucking reason, or a nickname for a fucking reason. Like do it with a real reason. Like because you're calling them both things. It's like what the fuck? You're confusing us. You're confusing people at home. WWE. Figure out what the fuck you want to call her, please. Thank you. That will help me very much. Anyway, she comes out next, which I've said numerous times. I don't see why she was in this match, other than because she's battling Rhea. It's like that. I just thought that could have went to somebody else, and maybe it would have went to somebody else if Candice LeRae was healthy. But which would have been an interesting situation because she's also been in a War Games match, so that would have been a pretty interesting situation. Um, And I actually think about it, I think she was one of the people in that last. Yeah, I think it might have been 5 on 5. I think it might have been when the women's war game match happened because I think she was in the war games match with them. With Team Rhea. against Shayna and them. But yeah, so Mia Yim comes out, and then Rhea Ripley comes out last for Team Damage Control, and it's Rhea Ripley. Like, bruh, like, like I've said numerous times, Rhea and Bianca is literally a collision course waiting to fucking happen. It's coming. We just don't know it's coming. WrestleMania, I would love to see it. I think it'd be a perfect time to put them two together. If you're not gonna put Charlotte on Raw and make her fight Bianca, then give us Bianca versus Rhea at WrestleMania. Do not do it soon. Just build it out. Build that fucking storyline out because they had some classics at NXT. I'm pretty fucking sure they have some classics at WrestleMania. So, but last but not least for Team Bianca was Becky Lynch, the man. Came back Friday night. Now clearly I couldn't see that shit last night because they had a football game on and people that was watching football UCLA in California here watching on Fox couldn't see when Becky came back, so it kind of fucked up their return, her return kind of. But she came out and was ready to rock and roll in this match, man. And the interesting part about the War Games matches, right, is the fact that you got people that's beating the shit out of each other for like the last 30 minutes. Like, and then when the last person finally comes into the ring, that's when the fucking match really begins. It's like, nigga, the match been begun, motherfucker. I'm like holding shoulders and shit, my body aching, nigga. I'm with them tables already. And you now saying the match has now begun, bitch. The match been begun. What the fuck are you talking about? Like it's already started, motherfucker. What are you talking about? It's just like damn. But this was incredible, man. It was an incredible match, man. From all women in this match. I thought the weapons, I thought everything was precise. It was pretty fucking good, man. All in all, man, the beauty of this match was, and I like the storytelling of it all because at the end of the match, you see who are the last five women standing. And it's Damage Control, Bianca and Becky, who pretty much started this storyline, pretty much from SummerSlam, and it was beautiful to see how it culminated because it's like these are the five that started this storyline with Damage Control. Becky's been gone. She's now back. This makes total fucking sense. That these are the two women that's gonna stop Damage Control. And it's like that was the perfect fucking ending. I thought it was perfect because, like I said numerous times, I thought Becky would be the last person in. I was like, this is clearly Becky's spot. Like, it's not even a close because she's the only other person outside of Candice LeRae that has had problems with Damage Control, and they tried to hurt her. So it made sense to put her in this match, and to see how it ended, it made even more sense. So I thought it was perfect, perfect harmony, and plus this kind of ends this saga with Damage Control and Bianca. Now the storyline continues with what I've been saying for a while, and I said last couple of times, well, the last episode I did this, where it was like I said, now you can kind of create this storyline between Becky and Bailey, and that's something that we haven't seen before in WWE, even in NXT circles. Like we never seen Becky and Bailey fight before. This is the first time we might get a chance to see Becky versus Bailey, the one of the original four horsewomen. Charlotte, Sasha, Bailey, Becky. We've never seen those two go at each other before. And we're finally going to probably get it because now Damage Control is going to blame one person for them losing that match, Becky. And now it's kind of interesting again because now that storyline with Bianca goes to the wayside, but now it kind of also creates a new conversation because it's like, well, like I just said, I don't want to see Bianca and Rhea fight right now. I don't want to see it. I don't even see it at Royal Rumble. I want to see it at WrestleMania. That makes perfect fucking sense. Now, like I said, if you got a plan in place for Bianca to fight Charlotte at WrestleMania, then all right, I'm cool with that. But if Bianca doesn't have a match at WrestleMania that you 100% know 100% is going to help you, then put Rhea, who's literally scorching every time she touched the fucking ring. Anytime she comes out on screen, she's killing it. Rhea and Bianca is NXT Gold. It was NXT Gold, and it's gonna be WrestleMania Gold if that is the case. So if that is the match, put it at WrestleMania. Build this storyline out. put it at WrestleMania. Just like Rhea continue to do the Judgment Day shit, like Bianca go off and maybe fight Nikki Cross. Fight Nikki Cross and let them have a storyline. It's still kind of like damage control, kinda, but it's not really. And let them, and then build that shit to WrestleMania. Because I think Rhea should win the Royal Rumble. Like I said numerous times, she should win the Women's Royal Rumble. There's not that many people that you could give it to. Shayna, Charlotte again, Becky, Bailey, but Bailey, who the fuck she gonna fight? Ronda? Like, I don't want to see that shit. So Rhea's the only person, the only option for the women's Royal Rumble match. Like, that's the only option because it would actually make sense if she fought Bianca at WrestleMania because that match was supposed to happen at Money in the Bank and it didn't happen. So we need that match ASAP. Speaking of that, before I get into the last match, which clearly we all know what that is. I like how WWE was also putting these particular structuring these packages throughout the night. Like you can actually see WWE kind of like putting it in your minds, like somebody's coming back. Just be aware, something's coming. Be aware. Like first it was Charlotte. I think to start off Survivor Series, it was Charlotte that started off with a package, like the prompt, like a package of her coming back, kind of, and showing her dominance and why she's been one of the greats. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty interesting. I'm like, that kind of got me excited to see Charlotte again. And then, I can do with or without Charlotte when you're not pushing her every 5 minutes to literally be her dad and break records every day. It's like when you don't push her to do that shit, it's kind of she's actually really fucking good in the ring. And then I think it was Brock Lesnar, which was intriguing and shit because I was like, oh, I almost see Brock tonight. Yeah, like do that shit at the Royal Rumble and have Bobby Lashley and Brock fight WrestleMania first night of WrestleMania and get that shit out the way. Um, and then I think it was like Cody Rhodes. They did one on Cody Rhodes. They did one on the Miz, Liv Morgan. They did a couple, man. They did a couple of those particularly strategized packages on people. And I thought it was pretty decent how they did it perfectly because it's like remember these people because they're coming back soon. Particularly Charlotte and Cody Rhodes because we haven't seen really what is going on with them, and that's pretty interesting. And to see Charlotte be the first person out the gate that they get it kind of like attention to, she's coming back soon. I don't know when, but she's coming back soon. Um, which gets into the last match of the night and was the best match on the entire fucking card. It was the main event. Team Bloodline versus Team Brawling Brutes. War Games. I don't think this shit needed weapons, but it was intriguing to see how that was gonna play out. Now, unlike the women's war game match, the men's war game match was centered around a story. Whereas for the women's war game match, you didn't see the story until the end. Like you saw the beginning of the story, but you also saw the ending of that story. Because, like I said, now you got Bianca pretty much going off and doing her own shit now, but Becky takes her place in that situation, and not it's not Bianca anymore. Whereas for the team for Bloodline, their story is the Bloodline, and that's the storyline because this shit got intriguing, and it kicked it off because of last night on Friday Night SmackDown, which I did see. Kevin Owens comes up to Sami Zayn, which is kind of obvious because they're best friends. They've been friends for 25 years. They were both, you know, uh, best men at each other's weddings and shit. Like, so it kind of makes sense that these two men would, you know, now you're on different sides of the friendship. It's kind of weird. And Kevin Owens comes up to Sami Zayn and is like, yo, you really think you bloodline? You really are gonna continue to be a part of this faction, knowing damn well whenever it's time for them to choose family or you, they're gonna choose family. Clearly, it's bloodline, bro. You're not a part of this. You can wear the shirts and you can scream your bloodline all your day, but you're not that. And Kevin and Sammy's like, yeah, whatever. Jay though is listening. Jay Uso is listening, and Jay's like, huh, okay, okay, turn on us, right? Okay. So Jay waits until Kevin leaves and comes out the door and like, yo, where you been? We could have used you earlier. Where you been? And Sammy's like, I just got here. Wait, I just got here. He's like, oh, really? Okay, so have you talked to anybody? Like today? Have you just recently talked to anybody? And Sammy's like, dude, I just got here. I just told you. You sure you sure you ain't talked to nobody? You sure you ain't talked to nobody? He's like, dude, I just physically got here. I don't know what to tell you. Like, okay, okay. He's like, okay, okay. And they lost the advantage match last night, clearly. Thanks to Sammy because he got tossed in the ring because he was trying to hand a belt to Jey Uso, and Kevin Owens tossed him in the ring. Kevin got in the ring, stunned Jey Uso, and then uh not Claymore, bro kick to the head, won the match. Advantage goes to the Brawler Brutes. But anyway, getting to this match, man. Before this match even started, it was the backstage, and Jay goes up to Roman and is like, "Yo, have I ever lied to you? Like, come on, bro. Like, I've been telling you since you put this dude in this position. Like, Sammy should not be in this position. He's not blood. He's not us. He will never sacrifice himself like we would sacrifice each other, sacrifice ourselves for each other." And he's pretty much like, "Yo," he talked to Kevin Owens. Like, I think he planning something with this dude. Like, come on, man. Like, you got to talk to this dude. Like, get him out of here. We done with him. I'm like, I talk to him. I look him in his eyes myself and ask him if he's doing that. So Sammy, maybe an hour later, goes into the Bloodline locker room, goes to Roman's locker room, and Sammy got me hooked, man. Sammy's got this. Sammy got it, man. If he don't get a push after WrestleMania 2, I'm done with WWE for a minute. This man goes into the locker room and he's like, "Yo," like Roman's like, "Talked to Kevin Owens last night." He's like, "Yeah, I did." He's like, "Okay, okay, okay." Like, what y'all planning? What you planning? And Sammy's like, listen, to be honest with you, Kevin did most of the talking. I just listened. Like Kevin did most of the talking. I just listened. Um, but the way he was delivering this fucking promo, man, he was just like, yo, like, bro, what more do I gotta prove to you? That I'm a part of this team, and like, I'm part of this. I'm doing everything in my power to show you, like, I'm here. I'm a part of this. I'm doing this with you guys. And it is like I didn't tell Jay, and Roman asked him like, did you lie to Jay? Why you didn't tell Jay? Why did you lie to Jay? And he's like, well, I didn't tell Jay because one, Jay don't trust me already, and two, Jay had a match coming up. If I was to tell Jay that, he would already flipped it in his head, had a different thought process on it, and every damn thing. So I wanted to keep his mind clear for the match and not tell him because he already don't trust me. Why would I add extra to his plate? And Roman's just like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. The way Sammy was just telling this man, like, yo, man, like, what more I gotta do to prove to you that I'm a part of the bloodline? What do I gotta do? And just the fact that Roman never really said anything. He's like, okay. He's like, you with us, right? And Sammy's like, yes, I'm with you. I'm here. Like, I'm here. And what got me really more importantly was just the fact that he was like, yo, that's like five people that get a chance to walk. Five people that get a chance to walk into this locker room. There's the wise man Paul Heyman. There's the Usos, Solo, and me. He said, you don't think I like how important that is to me? You don't think I cherish that shit? What more I gotta do to prove my loyalty to you?" And Roman was just like, all right, get up, hugs him, and Roman just like, he's just like, mm. Getting to the match, it starts off, and it's obviously Butch, aka Pete Dunne, who's been in the most war game matches since his obsession in WWE. Coming to WWE, he's been in the most war game matches, and he starts it off, and it's pretty interesting to see who starts off for the Bloodline because it's Jay, of all people, to start off, and he tells Jay also, like, I need you to be my right hand, bro. I need you to take care of business tonight. I don't need you to worry about that. I deal with Sammy when I deal with Sammy. but you need to focus on this goddamn match. So for Jay to start off this match against Pete Dunne, aka Butch, it's pretty intriguing because Jay's got a fucking torn, like, he got fucking ligaments fucked up in his hand and shit. It's like you put him in the match first against fucking Pete Dunne, who's literally a technician at dislocating fucking hands, motherfucker. I'm looking at this shit like, God damn, Roman hates Jay. Like, God damn, Roman hates Jay. This shit is obvious now. And boy, Jay got punished. Oh my God. Which leads into Rich Holland coming out for Team Brawling Brutes. He runs down to the ring. He gets in the ring. They beat him down for 3 minutes. And then cage opens. It's time for the bloodline to come out the gate. And Jimmy's like, yeah, I'm gonna go out there and help my brother. I'm gonna grab him. I said, Sammy, go out there and fight him. Sammy, go out there and fight him. Sammy's the second person out the fucking gate for the bloodline. Go out there and fight him. You go out there and fight him. Like, what the fuck? Like, and Sammy's like, huh? Like, Sammy's like, why me, motherfucker? Why me first? Like, yeah. Like, and Sammy goes out he comes out the cage. He's like, oh shit. You're like, oh shit. I don't know about this. Jay kind of stops Butch first, and then Rich Holland kind of gets on him, and then Sammy gets in the ring and starts beating on Rich Holland. And this was such an interesting thing because you're starting to see it. And when it was just those two, they actually worked really fucking well together. Like, it wasn't that much animosity. Like, I mean, they argued, but it wasn't like crazy bad arguing. And it led to, Sammy. At one point, Jay's is literally pinned against the cage, and I think Rich Holland is running to hit him, and Sammy pulls Jay away from the this kind of like the fucking cage spear shit, and he pulls him away. Rich Holland hits the fucking cage. He saved Jay. Like, he just saved this man, and you see right there and there, like, that's interesting. He saved him. Now I want you to keep that in mind because what I'm about to say coming up next. So then the next person out the Ball and Brutes cage is Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre runs down to the ring and proceeds to beat the shit out the bloodline for at least good 3 minutes. Beat the shit out the bloodline. Jay getting tossed every which way. Sammy getting tossed every which way. They're beating the lovely shit out of the bloodline. Drew was beating the shit out of the bloodline by himself. It isn't Jimmy from the bloodline. He runs. He gets in the cage. They start working on them. Start beating them down, which then inadvertently brings out Kevin Owens, which I thought would have been the last person you bring out, but I guess because Roman and Sheamus are gonna probably fight at Royal Rumble, and I think that's kind of what they're trying to build towards. So that made sense, and also the history of them as Survivor Series, like Sheamus kind of beat Roman when Roman won his first title, his first WWE Championship. He beat him at Survivor Series, cashed their money in the bank. So it kind of makes sense. But Kevin Owens gets in the ring, and then he starts working on them, and him and Sammy have like a little bit of a showdown. They look at each other like, yo, like, you really want to fight me right now? Like, this is what you really want to do? And I forget who broke it up. I think it might have been Jay or Jimmy. I don't remember. But they stop him. Jay bought in a lot of weapons by the time. Oh yeah, tables. He bought like 3 tables in, and they're trying to Jay. This is where it's interesting. Jay and Sammy are trying to set up the table, trying to grab the table to set it up, and I think Jay stepped on the table and was like, "Yo, I got this." Like, he pushed Sammy, like, "Yo," and Sammy like, "Yo, what the fuck? Like, why you push me, bro? Like, man, I got this. I got this." Again, like I just said, they worked better when they were just those two, but when Jimmy got in the ring, it kind of, you saw Jay's very protective of the family dynamic. But when it was just him and Sammy, it was just, motherfucker, save me, help me get out of this situation. But when you put somebody from his blood in there, it's like, nah, I got somebody that I really do trust. Get the fuck away from me. And it was kind of interesting to see that because it's like, that's intriguing to see. So he pushed Sammy, and Sammy pushed his ass back. Like, yo, like, what are you doing? And Roman's just sitting on a stool. Why the way? How the fuck he got a stool in a cage? I didn't understand that. But anyway, he's just sitting on the stool, like, bro, come on, man. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Solo Sakara runs out to the cage after that, and then they just proceed to beat the hell out of Young Taz. I'm gonna call Solo Sakara Young Taz. That's motherfucking Young Taz with the fucking black towel on his head, looking like Taz from ECW. Like, yeah, it's Young Taz. I don't give a fuck. I know Taz got a son in AEW, Hook. That's his real son. But Solo Sakara is like Taz. He looked like Rikishi, but that's Young Taz. I call him Young Taz. But he gets in the ring. They go in. He's no selling, which is pretty interesting to see from a WWE situation. He's taking the hits, but he's no selling, which is very interesting to see in a WWE situation because they usually don't let that shit happen. You got to sell a lot, but he gets rammed into a cage by Drew, and he kind of like looks and like and he hits him again. He's just taking the punches like and he's just like he's no selling, which is interesting to see in a WWE situation. That's pretty fucking interesting. But anyway, goes into the last person coming out the cage for the Brawling Brutes, and that's Sheamus. Sheamus comes out, and it goes into a Sheamus does his thing, beats the hell out of everybody, and then last but not least is Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns enters the cage, and by the time he enters the cage, the Bloodline is on one side, Brawling Brutes is on another side, and like I said, War Games begins in the ring, and they ring the bell again, ding ding ding, and then now it really starts. But again, I've been beating this motherfucker. I've been thrown through tables, hit with chairs for 20, 30 minutes. Bitch, it's been begun. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. Nah, it began. Bitch, it's done. It's been started. What the fuck you talking about? But this goes on, and they fight, and it's incredible, man. They when they finally kind of got up to it, they finally fought. Everybody came together and fought, and it was incredible. Now, I said earlier when Kevin Owens and Sammy kind of I that back killing me. Um, when I was like when I saw Kevin and Sammy stare off, I was like, they gonna do that again later. I'm pretty sure of it. Um, but these two teams beat the living hell out of each other for a good bit. Um, and it goes into the final end of this match where Roman hits Kevin with a spear. I mean, hit him with a Superman punch. Tries to hit him with a spear. And Kevin caught him. Pop up power bomb. And then he stunned him. Did a stunner on him. And one, two, and Sammy caught the ref's hand. And let me go back a little bit. Because before he did that, Sammy and Pete Dunne was fighting. And Pete turned, and Jay tried to super kick Pete Dunne, aka Butch, and he ducked. But he super kicked Sammy. He caught that motherfucker flush. Bah! He caught him. And Jay like, okay, man, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. And Jimmy like, yo, what the fuck you doing? Like, you just kicked this man in the face. And Jimmy tries to go get him, like, get Sammy up. And Jay like, man, fuck that. No, 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 no. Let his ass stay down there. Like, we got bigger shit to deal with. And people are like, yo, what the fuck you doing, bro? Like the Boston crowd called Jay an asshole and everything. It was just like, you just kicked this man in the face, and then your brother trying to help him up. You like, man, fuck him. Let's go. Let's move on to the next shit. Which brings me to back what I was just saying. Kevin Owens stuns Roman. One, two. Sammy catches the ref's arm. Kevin Owens like he looked at him like, I know you didn't just stop this pin. What are you doing? And they get up, and again, it's a stare off. It's like, yo, like, what are you doing? Like, you really think these are your family? You really are gonna call these people your family when I've known you 25 years? You've been like closer to family to me. Why are you calling these people your family? And Jimmy is in the corner. Jimmy's trying to, he's getting up from the ring, and he tries to super kick Kevin Owens, and he caught it. Kevin Owens caught the super kick. But he couldn't catch the low blow because Sammy's saying low blow the shit just hit this man. Mm. And, and, and Sammy's like, you can tell he's probably trying to like think, should I do this shit? But I gotta prove my loyalty. So he looks at Roman. Said, I told you, I'm bloodline. Hits hits the ropes. Halula kick right to the face of Kevin Owens. He falls in. He's holding Kevin Owens up. He looks at Jay. Drops wrong. Drops Kevin Owens. Jay like, all right, fuck it. Jay like, all right, fuck it. Splash. 1, 2, 3. The bloodline wins. Did I think the bloodline was gonna win this match? Not really. Did I even think Bianca was gonna win that match? Not really. But I believe Bianca and them was gonna probably win a little bit more than I thought the bloodline would win this. Um, which is interesting, right? To say, right? Um, after the match, um, Sammy pretty much puts Roman up and says, you know, "Told you, like, I'm loyal. I'm loyal, man." Roman hugs him. Yeah, you are. You are. Which was really intriguing was after he got a hug from Roman, Jay hugged him. Jay Uso hugs Sami Zayn like it's Christmas and he's a gift. Just hugs him like, what the? Yeah, man. Hugs him again, picks him up, twirls him and shit. Like, it's just like, what the fuck is going on? This shit today. But it's more important to see how Roman looked. Because when Jay pins him, Roman's looking. If you actually pay attention, Roman's looking at Jay. He's looking dead at Jay like, so you the person I should be questioning. You keep trying to put this man against us, but yet you the one that I should be questioning because you a couple weeks ago, you was like, I don't give a damn what the tribal chiefs say. It seems like you on my spot. And people didn't probably peep that, but I peeped that. I peeped that very well. And before they got off the air, Roman like has Sammy over here, Jay right here. And Roman's like, he's looking kind of like at Jay, like something's up with this shit, bro. You doing too much. And I think Jay's the first person that's gonna kick out the bloodline. You might think I'm crazy, but it kind of leads to that, right? It's kind of like he was the first person in the bloodline. He kind of has been the one person that, out of every single person, he kind of got beat into disobedience. Everybody's willing, they were willing to go into the bloodline. He's the only person that kind of had to get beat into disability, into to pretty much being a part of the bloodline. He's the only person that actually physically had the chance to be the tribal chief. And he got his ass whooped. Clearly got his ass whooped. But he had to get beaten to disobedience to be a part of the bloodline, where everybody else was willing to be a part of the bloodline. Solo Sikoa was pretty much set by the elders to be a part of the bloodline. Jimmy just fell in line after a couple of weeks and was like, all right, I just fall in line like my brother. Sammy is willing to do the bloodline's bidding. Jay's the only person that physically had to be forced into the bloodline. Think about it. Jay's the first person that's probably gonna get kicked out the bloodline, which is funny to hear. But yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty interesting, man. All in all, man, Survivor Series War Games was incredible. Like I said, and I will be doing a post War Games follow up. So Monday, Friday, I will be doing a Wrestling Life podcast episode. I'll probably do it Saturday, next Saturday, or maybe probably that Friday night. I don't know, but excuse me. All in all, man, this was incredible, man. This is a really good fucking pay per view. For the amount of matches that it had, like I said, for the matches that they pretty much promoted and pushed, for and they didn't really do a lot of press for this particular pay per view. Maybe because they felt like those two matches that was gonna hinder, it was gonna really push this pay per view. But I don't see how people could really hate on this pay per view, other than the Ronda Shotzi match. Even that was pretty much decent. I thought that was pretty much decent. This was a pretty good fucking pay per view. You had some wild finishes like the Austin Theory winning the title. But all in all, man, I thought it was a really good pay per view, man, and pretty good pay per view. After the post Survivor Series War Games episode for Wrestling Life, I'm going to do my top 10 matches. Yeah. So be on the lookout. I'm gonna probably do my top 10. I did my top 10 wrestlers earlier this year, but I'll probably redo it because it's getting at the end of the year and now I can finally engage where everybody's at. And I don't know if it's gonna be the same list, but to be honest, it might not be. But yeah, so I'm doing the top 10 wrestlers for 2022, and I'm doing my top 10 matches for 2022, and also I'm gonna do my predictions in my yearly review of wrestling. So that's pretty much all the episodes coming in December. After the post War Games episode of War Life, but other than that, a wrestling life and War Life, wrestling life. But until then, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Like I said, comment, rate on podcast platforms, comment on YouTube, comment on podcast platforms, comment on Instagram, social media, follow, subscribe, man. Thank you guys for listening. Appreciate it. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of y'all night. I'm about to go to sleep. Peace.